Good morning, everybody. I'm Richard Moore. This is your Daily Constitutional for Tuesday, February 17, 2015. Now, if you go to my homepage today, you can sign up for email alerts to these Daily Constitutionals. As soon as they're posted, you'll get emailed. You can unsubscribe at any time. Also, on the homepage today, you'll find a link to an interesting article in the Washington Times. It's going to be called our Link of the Day. Today they have in the Washington, it's not necessarily going to be the Washington Times, but it is today. They have an interview with Carly Fiorina. Now, Carly is getting ready to run for president, possibly, and she's not as well known as all the other Republican candidates, however, she has credentials, pretty impressive credentials. She is the former chairwoman of Hewlett-Packard. A few years back in California, she ran against Barbara Boxer for the U.S. Senate and lost only by 10 points, and that's really respectable out on the left coast. And of course, right now, she is chairwoman of the American Conservative Union. What I find interesting about this article is that she talks about what she believes to be the biggest difference between a liberal and a conservative. Let me just read you a couple of quotes here, and excuse me while I pull up my computer. But she says, "I don't doubt that they, liberals, care about helping people, but I also don't doubt that in their heart of hearts, a lot of them think they are smarter than you are, better than you are, and that's why they're going to decide for you." She goes on to say, "The philosophy of conservatism is that no one of us is any better than any other one of us. Everyone has gifts. Everyone wants to live a life of dignity and purpose and meaning, and everyone can do that." Now that's really well said, but it really strikes a chord with me because I've told my wife this all along, that this is exactly what I have experienced. I was a liberal when I was younger. I know it's hard to admit, but I was. And when I was a liberal, and as I grew older, I became conservative. But when I was a liberal, I did believe I knew better than anyone else. I knew what was right for you, and you had no choice but to go along if I could get my way. The Constitution? Hey, that was written by old men 200 years ago. It has no bearing in the modern world. And for you, well, I know what's good for you. And I didn't worry about not being democratic because, well, once I impose my will on you, you'd like it. Now, also, I love books and I write books, but I'm not a book snob. I have a friend who kind of made his way. He's a connoisseur of books, but he didn't have a lot of education, and now he looks down on people who don't read books. But as I grew to be a conservative, I began to understand that I didn't know better than other people, that individuals knew what was best for themselves and their families, and really what was good for the country. They have an inordinate ability to all of us being equal, have an inordinate ability to filter out the information which comes from so many sources and to know what's right for themselves. And what's right for themselves is usually right for the country when you bring it all together. But they don't have to get that information from books. They get it from the internet, magazines, newspapers. They get it from friends, neighbors, families, from co-workers at the water cooler. Well, the bottom line is, I realized when I became a conservative that there are so many tons. All of us have an amazing ability to know things. We have different talents. We have different skill sets. But all of us are amazing. And when the individuals are allowed to be free and to innovate and to create, we all prosper. And that's the difference between liberals and conservatives. They want to rule us all. Now, on a final point, the liberals love to point out surveys where they say they like to say how stupid we are because they're better educated. When people self-identify as liberals, look at their education, and that generally they have a higher degree. But is it really that liberals are better educated? Or are they just more indoctrinated? The longer you go in government schools, the more indoctrinated you become. And that, my friends, explains why so many experts say the dumbest things that we know to be false. We know to be false, but they've been indoctrinated to the point that they can't see the forest for the trees. Anyway, I think that's a great article. Carly Fiorina is right. We don't know what's right for you. You know what's right for you, and that's the difference between a liberal and a conservative. Good day, everybody. Have a great weekend. Have a great day. I'll see you here tomorrow on Wednesday. See you.